Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. This is Simon with AvaTrade. Welcome to our Sunday's webinar, Mapping Out Your Week Ahead. And of course, special welcoming goes to new people. And for you, as usual, I'm going to use the quote, a favorite quote of traders, when they say you plan your trade and then you trade your plan. And of course, there are no guarantees, but not just in trading, in every aspect of our lives, if we spend a little bit of time of getting organized and having a plan and having structure for the upcoming events, it makes a life much, much easier. A few things about myself. My name is Simon Friedman. I'm a senior account manager with AvaTrade. I've been trading for the past 25 plus years. I started in June of 2000 as a prop trader in New York City. I did it for about 11 years, and then I moved on to a different way of trading and also started to mentor and educate others. And I'm very happy to have this great opportunity to be assisting our customers at AvaTrade. So what we're going to do, as usual, the agenda, we'll talk about indices, stocks, commodities, and Forex. We'll take a look at some screenshots of articles, important things. In general, it's a very important week. We have interest rate decisions. We have some key companies reporting. So that brings us to stocks, indices, stocks, commodities, and Forex, as we said. And then we'll move to the charts, and we'll take a look at the instruments from the technical perspective. And we'll also go through the winners and losers for the week. And that's it pretty much. So this is the risk warning. And of course, everything we do here is purely educational. We do not suggest any trades. We do not give any signals. And you can find the full statement at avatrade.com website. Now, social media channels. If you are watching this on YouTube, please don't forget to click the likes, share with people that you think might benefit from this. And of course, if you have any comments, write them down. You have Telegram, you have X. Please subscribe. Click on that bell on YouTube so you'll be notified of new things coming in. If you miss the webinar, don't stress. The webinars are being recorded and posted on YouTube, so you can always go back and watch them at your convenient time. So before we go into the slides, it's been quite a week, right? We started with over the weekend, Trump a new idea on tariffs. His ace that he plays all the time when somebody is not abatant. So he threatened the European countries of 10% tariffs if they're not supporting his idea of taking over Greenland. I don't know if you did watch. I watched his speech in Davos at the Economic Forum. Things cooled down after that. Markets look like they came back to life, but still the effects are there. We'll take a look at the dollar's been super weak since the tariffs issues coming back to the surface. And also in the big picture, we're having a big week. We have the main event. It's the interest rate decisions of FOMC. And of course, most likely there will not be any cuts this time, but the market participants still want to hear what Powell has to say, and it's going to be followed by the press conference as usual. So that's an important event. So let's go through this important key points here. Why the dollar just had the worst week in 8 months despite Trump's pivot on tariffs. And I like this is from the Market Watch and some are from Barron's, and they have a new format here for a few weeks now when they put the key points. So it's very, very short and sharp here. So we'll read those. The US dollar index has fallen 1.9% this week, making its worst weekly performance since May 23. President Trump, recent tariff threats and actions abroad have contributed to the dollar struggles. Analysts anticipate a continued decline for the dollar with some expecting the US dollar index to fall below 90 in the coming years due to diversification out of the US dollar. Okay. Silver and metals in general, with the winners for the week, continue flying. So here's the silver finally hits $100 an ounce, and some experts say that's just the beginning. And the key points against silver for March delivery reached a record intraday high of 101.86 an ounce on COMEX, closing at 101.33, up 5.2%. The metal has gained nearly 44% this month, positioning it for its best monthly performance since December 1979. Wow. Simply, tightness is identified as the primary driver of silver's gains, with 2025 marking the fifth consecutive year of a global supply deficit. So silver is in a high demand, as we can clearly see. Now, here's gold, of course. Gold raced towards 5,000. Silver hits a record 100. Key points. Gold, silver, and platinum prices increased significantly, with the silver surpassing 100 per ounce. We spoke about that already. Precious metals have seen substantial gain so far in 2026 due to increased uncertainty. This is the key phrase right here, right? With all the geopolitics, I mean, we're on the edge of Iran war, I guess. The U.S. is bringing more and more power to the Middle East region. Analysts attribute the demand for the precious metals to lower U.S. interest rates, a weaker U.S. dollar, and continued fiscal deficit, with Goldman Sachs raising its year-end 2026 gold price forecast for $5,400 per ounce. I think we're just about $500 away from it. And another tariffs right here. Trump threatens 100% tariffs on Canadian goods, citing potential China deal. So apparently, Canada is about to get a deal with China. President Trump threatens 100% tariffs Canadian imports if Canada finalizes a trade deal with China. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney announced a preliminary trade deal with China on January 16 to reduce tariffs. Trump stated Canada would be eaten alive by China if it acts as a drop-off port for Chinese goods into United States. I guess we're going to hear more about it in the upcoming week, or trading week. Now, here's the current situation on the Fed's watch tool. Nothing changed. We have a few consecutive weeks of 4.4 probability of the interest rate cut. And as we said, what's important is still the press conference and see what what the Feds are looking to do and what they think. Here's the economic calendar. A few things about it before we jump into it. For new people, especially if you're not familiar with it, this is public information. You can access it on our website. Not the website, but the web trader or the app, or you can just Google it. It's available. It's no secret, and it's available to everyone. Now, what I do here, I take out the high impact events only, and you can filter through it. You can take a look what's what's relevant to your trading and so on. So these are the things that are happening this week. The times are here, GMT, and I take out, like I said, only high impact events. So we start on Tuesday with ECB President Lagarde, Christine Lagarde, speaking on Tuesday. Wednesday is a busy day. We have a CPI from Australia, but we have interest rate decisions from both Canada and the US. And as usual, we have decision from the FOMC, and then 30 minutes later, press conference, which is very important. That's when the markets really start jumping, like everybody's watching. The language, also the body language of Chair Powell. Thursday, we have CPI numbers from Japan. Friday, GDP numbers from Germany and the European Union. and we have PPI numbers from the US. And closing the week on Saturday, manufacturing and non-manufacturing PMI numbers from China. So these are the things to watch. And of course, the key point is right here, the Fed's decision followed by the press conference. All right, winners and losers. As you could see, the winners for this week, mostly energy and metals first of all. So platinum up 19.4, silver 16.6, palladium more than 12%, heating oil almost 10%, gold 844, gasoline 376, crude oil 327, and wheat 236. On the downside, cocoa down 17%, continues sliding. Bitcoin, these are all futures, just to clarify, right? Bitcoin futures down 6.6. Dollar index was down almost 2%. Nikkei down 1.7, and German DAX 1.65. Now, what's not included here, it's natural gas. I think it was a champion for the week. We'll take a look at it anyway when we get to the charts, which we're doing right now. Okay, so we start with indices as usual. We'll start with China. So you could see China clearly this week. Since last week we spoke about it, it broke the trend line that was set up here. We continue sliding here on the Chinese index. The Nikkei as well, as we saw the list, Nikkei, after struggling here, moving higher, we had moved down, retesting of this level here around 53.8, and Friday was a strong sell-off on Nikkei. Also, it was caused a lot, I believe, by strength on the Japanese yen. We'll take a look again when we get there. So these are the Asian. Here comes S&P 500. As we said, the U.S. markets recovered towards the end of the week and S&P ended up a week down only 0.4%. As we know, after that Trump statement over the weekend, it was a gap down. We stopped right here on the 100-day moving average. Wednesday, after Davos speech, we moved to the upside. Thursday continued. Friday was a little bit of a red day. So that's on S&P 500. On NASDAQ, similar situation. We gapped, we moved lower, we recovered. Friday was strong for NASDAQ, actually. I think it was a lot to do with NVIDIA and China being a little bit friendlier to the NVIDIA chips, I think. So we did have a nice move, recovery. We did touch that level again, 25,827, and retraced a little bit. So NASDAQ ended up almost flat for the week, 0.1% up, down, sorry. Dow Jones, same. We had a gap sell-off, came back Friday sell-off. We sold for the week 0.5%. So that's on U.S. indices. German DAX, as we said, it was down for the week. It opened with the gap. We had a big sell-off. Wednesday recovery here after touching this 24,500 level, and then we stopped somewhere halfway between the all-time high and this retracement here. The UK index has been super strong, as we said last week. We're holding nicely here, even though it was a gap down followed by the sell-off. Wednesday we recovered. Thursday and Friday we had a flat day in the middle of the Wednesday's candle. So let's see how things play this week with all the events and of course with the Fed's decision. Moving to stocks. Let's just take a quick look what the big guys are doing. Apple is not really recovering. Amazon tries to recover. Microsoft, a nice move on Friday. So I'm going to connect this with the earnings. So we have about 20% of S&P 500 companies reporting. That's about 100 companies this week, and among them, 4 out of Magnificent Seven. So these are the ones. We have Meta, as we know it as Facebook. Meta, we'll just go. I'm going to bring the MT5 as it has all of them. So on Tuesday, we have Boeing and General Motors. And as we said, I think last week, Boeing's been super, super strong. Take a look at this parabolic recovery after the sell with all the issues. We could be on the way to retest the highs here of the end of 2023, December 2023. Take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 consecutive weeks to the upside. So Boeing is reporting on Tuesday. GM, General Motors, the car maker, is reporting on Tuesday as well. It's been also strong holding right here, support at 50-day moving average here. Now moving to Wednesday, we have 3 out of Magnificent 7 reporting. That's Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla. So let's just take a quick look at them. Here's Meta. Been struggling a little bit, but take a look. After this gap over the weekend tariff scare, we had a nice recovery here. We broke through 50-day moving average here. We could be on the way to retest 200. So Meta is reporting on Wednesday. Microsoft as well. Microsoft has been not such a happy camper lately. We've been selling a lot. We've been coming from 560 area all the way to 440s. And the last 2 days, we had the jump here on Thursday and Friday. It was a big move. So reporting on Wednesday as well. And Tesla is reporting the same day. So Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla reporting on Wednesday. As you could see here on Thursday, we broke above the 50-day moving average here after making a lower low of the previous one. So now, in order to go higher, we would need definitely to break this previous high and maybe establish another higher low and move higher. So let's see what the earnings bring for Tesla. And on Thursday, we have Apple reporting. It's number 4 out of Magnificent 7. Apple also doesn't look like a happy camper here. We've been selling clearly, making lower lows, lower highs, breaking to 50, 100, and we are kind of in between 100 and the 200 moving average here. If we move lower, approximately this level here on 238 to 39 would be possible support, or all the way to 200-day moving average here. Let's see what earnings bring for Apple. Also, we have MasterCard and Visa both reporting on Thursday. Just to remind us, Trump is trying to get approval to put the cap on the interest rate of credit cards for a year, to freeze it for a year with a maximum 10%. So immediately after that statement, MasterCard, where are you? Here we go. As you could see here, the moment that came to public, I think this move down is totally connected to that. MasterCard's been selling heavily, coming to the previous support here of November 25th and 26th. So MasterCard is reporting on Thursday. Visa as well. It's been suffering a lot. Take a look at this sell-off after double top here. After reaching that previous resistance here, on January 26th, we just have a falling knife here, right? So both of them are reporting on Thursday, MasterCard and Visa. And coming to oil stocks, we have Chevron and ExxonMobil reporting on Friday. Now, recently, we had a nice move up in oil prices. So Just trying to find these guys here. I'm going to move back to MT5. It's easier. I have them here in alphabetical order. So we have Chevron. Take a look at this move with the gap, closing the gap, and moving higher. So that's on Chevron reporting on Friday, and ExxonMobil as well, looking very strong here. This is the weekly chart here on Exxon, and this is the weekly on Chevron. Exxon looks much stronger here, and Chevron is trying to break through the previous resistance here from March of 2025. So we'll be watching a lot of things, of course, with oil. We had Venezuela. Now there's a threat on attack on Iran. So oil is very volatile at this situation. All right, so that's, I think, concludes our stocks review. Just one more thing I just want to show you really quick. Intel went up into the earnings, and as the earnings came out, it actually dropped heavily. It dropped about it closed lower, $10 lower from Thursday's highs, right? Almost $10. All right, so Intel didn't really survive the earnings report here. So that's it for equities, for individual stocks, and we'll move now to commodities, and we'll start with metals. Here's platinum. The sky is the limit. It just keeps on flying. If you remember, we spoke about platinum somewhere here around 14,000, right? If you remember that. And we said that in 2014, platinum was $300 more in volume than gold. Take a look. Since then, we've doubled, right? More than doubled. All right, so that's platinum continues. We spoke about silver. It's just flying higher. The numbers that we brought, this is the silver price action. Crazy. Palladium as well. We're moving higher here, on the way to possibly retest the highs of December. Heating oil, as there's a crazy cold weather in the States, thousands of flights are being canceled, and both gasoline and natural gas went up in price, and crude oil as well. So here's gasoline closing the gap, moving high here. Gold, of course, as we said, reaching 5,000, continuing high here, closing at the highs, which possibly will lead us to continuation on Monday. We'll find out. Gasoline, as we said, is moving higher. Crude oil up 3.25%, 327. We had the nice base building around 59 and breaking through the upside. Wheat up 2.36%. Nice move on Friday. But I want to show you the natural gas. I think natural gas jumped due to the cold weather this time. And we spoke about it when we get to around $3. We said that the buyers might come in. Not only they came in, they pushed it higher, and we went above the previous high briefly, the high of December 5th. And then we came right back down, closing lower on that day. That's Thursday, and Friday we continue higher of that because of that cold weather. And take a look at this move from 309 to 534 in 1 week. So that's natural gas, I think, is the champion. Commodities, I think we're covering commodities now. On the downside, we had cocoa, right? Here we go. Cocoa is diving, but we did come to a base here. This is the weekly chart. The current level is the base of 4 or 5 weeks before we had the first parabolic move to the upside. So maybe this current level will create some kind of support around 4,200. Let's see. All right, moving to Forex, and of course we start with dollar index. As we said, dollar was down almost 2%. Take a look at this move. After failing or rejecting this resistance again at 99.27, we've been moving lower, breaking through 50, 200, 100, and accelerating on Thursday and Friday, coming to 97.25. Of course, if you go through the majors, we had a nice move to the upside. Euro dollar, pound dollar, super strong. Australian, take a look at this move, parabolic. Australian dollar is approaching very interesting territory here. So we had a double top here, 2 consecutive days, right? You can't call it double top, just 2 consecutive days here in September. And the highest point here was 0.6942. We're about 50 pips away from that level, so definitely worth watching as we approaching that level here. New Zealand dollar, it's far behind. Usually they go together, but for a while now, New Zealand dollar has been super weak comparing to Australian. Dollar Swiss, we just broke out of this base. A lot of accumulation has been happening, and this is the weekly chart. And in 1 week, we broke through, closing at the lows. So that could trigger continuation here. And as we read, some analysts predicting dollar falling below 90. USD CAD, both weakness of US dollar and strength of oil. I had a nice weekly move here. On the daily, looks more drastic here, right? So free fall here on USD CAD. And of course, yen, we spoke about yen. Yen had a huge move this week to the upside. Take a look at this dollar yen falling, coming to the level of December 30th in 1 day, right? And across the board, as I like to bring all the instruments against the yen, we had a big sell-off on Friday against the yen. So yen was super strong on Friday across the board. I tried to research. Some say they're really fearing the intervention of Bank of Japan. That's why that move happened. But nevertheless, it was a strong move on yen. So if you summarize the Forex and a few verses, we have dollar weakness since all these tariff gains and other things. And we have a strength of yen. And those are the 2 major things. And of course, we'll see how this week plays with the Fed's decision and the comments on the situation. So that's on Forex. Let's see the Turkish lira. Interesting how it reacted. I think we spoke about this. This was one event here when the dollar sold against the Turkish lira, and then we came back, continuing this trend. Of course, there's super high inflation in Turkey. I just wanted to see it for a moment. So this is the, you know what, USD NOK we didn't see for a while. Wow, we missed it. Take a look at this. Why did I bring USD NOK? Norway is a big exporter of oil, and every time oil gets strong, then the vision krona is getting strong as well. Take a look at this move. Good thing we brought it up. So if we continue here, this level here from September 17th, 973.03, that could be our possible support. Also, it's a big move. And take a look here, the 50-day moving average is crossing below the 200. A strong message here. Take a look at the monthly chart. Also, not just here. We come to a strong level here on the support all the way from beginning of 2023. So USD NOK, we're going to watch that as well. All right, that's it with Forex. Let's take a quick look at Bitcoin, which, as we know, been selling. We did break through that trend line again, and after this strong sell-off candle, we really trading at the bottom of it. It's not a very good sign. XRP or Ripple is trading below $2. As we said last week, it's been trying to hold that $2 mark. Been selling below. We're trading at 190. So we'll continue watching the cryptos, of course. All right. So let's summarize things, right? I'm going to leave this screen here so you'll remember about the social media. You have Telegram, X, and YouTube channel. So we have a big week. We have interest rate decision from Canada and the US. And of course, the key point is the FOMC decision followed by the press conference. We have metals running. Let's see if that excitement continues to the upside. We have energies running with also uncertainty mixed with the cold weather. And the US, let's see, we have 4 out of 7 significant stocks reporting this week, right? We said it. We have Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla reporting on Wednesday. We have Apple reporting on Thursday. And overall, we have close to or about 20% of S&P 500 companies reporting. That's about 100 companies. That's a lot. All right. I want to wish everyone a great weekend. Enjoy it, get some energy, spend some quality time with your loved ones. And of course, I want to wish everyone a great and successful trading week. All the best. Take care.